True Sky Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. So currently we do have the sun still transiting through the sign of True Sky Gemini, and the decks I've chosen for the transit are very kind of fairy tale kind of decks. I felt matched that Geminian energy. So the sun will be in True Sky Gemini until around the 17th. It really does depend on where you are in the world. So being here in Australia, sometimes things will be the next day because we're kind of like a day ahead. So sometimes the dates can be a bit different depending on where you are. So if I do give you dates, it will generally be from where I am. However, with the True Sky dates, I tend to follow the ones that are out there, you know, the like official midpoints. So, however, I do know that when I look at, say, the Sky Reading app, sometimes it can be not quite in on the date that we'll say because, yeah, we are ahead. So sometimes it can be like the next day, or even, because I don't think it's a full day that we're ahead, but it's quite a significant amount of time. So this month, the first deck we have here for you is the Mystic Fairy Tarot, and on the bottom of the deck we have the 5 of Cups as the underlying energy for the reading for you, Scorpio. So this is telling me that there has been, or will be this month, some kind of significant sadness or loss. It could be grief. So you're grieving something that you've lost. So that's the underlying energy. However, the first card that we have for you is the Priestess. So a really interesting card, and I think very complementary to the Scorpio energies. Often it's associated with Pisces. However, yeah, very complementary to Scorpio. So being the first card that has come out for you for this month, it is suggesting that this month is going to be a very spiritual month for you. Very kind of a time where you really need to kind of seek the divine. If you can create, or you already have, a sacred space that you can spend time in, potentially doing magic work or some kind of meditative work, this will be really beneficial for this month. It's considering also that the central card for you for the month is the Tower here, which I do find quite interesting because we currently have Uranus in True Sky Taurus, which is your opposing sign generally. So therefore there is, Uranus has that kind of tower energy. It has that radical change, even revolutionary kind of energy. And so this is the focus for you for the month. So there could be even some that Uranus could be aspecting, like opposing some of your Scorpio placement or placements this month, like strongly. And we did just have on the 4th Mars conjoin Uranus, which is still is near, but it's not exact anymore. So potentially that would have been a date when maybe something significant or around that time may have occurred for you, some kind of dramatic change in your life. Then for the crowning card, we have the 3 of Cups for you. So this is also a good month to celebrate with your loved ones. So go out, or I mean, you can do it at home if you can. But yeah, have some kind of, you know, positive experience with your friends or loved ones this month. This is the crowning energy. So it's really important that you do this, you know, life doesn't need to be all work. You need to also have, you know, pleasurable times as well. Then you have the Six of Pentacles. So this is a positive card too, in that it's saying that this month there'll be either you helping those that need help, or potentially others helping you if you're needing help. There's like a positive flow of resources this month. Those that have will help those that need, and that kind of energy. Then you have underneath your priestess, next to your tower, quite a crucial card. So you have the Three of Swords, which is a card of traditionally heartbreak. So there is some negative situation in your life that is ending or has ended and has caused significant heartbreak. Obviously, you do need to grieve, and the suggestion here is that, you know, seek that sacred place to help with your healing, because you do need to heal to move on, but you're going to move on. You will be fine. Then after the Tower, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this card does suggest that there will be some financial lack or scarcity this month, and having it with the Six of Pentacles above it does suggest that you will get the help, or whoever it is that is having these harder financial times will get the help they need. So obviously you might need to seek help though. So the Five of Pentacles, often it suggests that you might be impoverished, but those around you are not. And that often you have to seek help from outside forces. Then you have, in this bottom corner here, we have the World. So the World is suggesting that there is something really significant closing up for you this month. And it's actually a really successful completion. It's not a negative thing. So yes, you have the Tower, you have that chaotic change energy. And then you even have this heartbreak. So there's this loss and this sadness, potential grief, which is also underlying the deck as well. But there is a really positive force here. So this completion, this will be for the best. This ending, it wasn't meant to work out. There's something better. There's a new chapter opening in your life this month, and it's going to be really positive. Then underneath the Tower on the bottom of the deck, for the base of the matter, we have the Seven of Cups. So the only downside to the Seven of Cups really is that you need to be aware that you could get a little bit lost in wishful thinking. So it's a very dreamy card, and it does often have a lot of choices or a lot of options. At least it seems that they're all good. Sometimes you can know straight away what's not to take. However, sometimes some of these options look a lot better than they really are. So you do need to be discerning as to what you do at this time. Then you have the King of Swords. So this could be you, or it could be someone in your life. The King of Swords is generally linked to the air signs or houses, or the significant ruling planets of the air signs, like significantly placed in their chart. It also could just be an aspect in your life. So they're obviously of leadership energy, very intelligent, very calculating, very good at what they do. However, they don't have much time for emotions or even comforts. They're very hardened. You could say that they're quite stoic kind of individual. However, it is interesting that we do have the Sun in True Sky Gemini for most of this month up until around the 17th. And potentially it could be this energy in your life at this time, this Gemini energy really affecting you. So this king could be from that energy, bringing in that energy from the Gemini. Because we've also got Mercury retrograde in True Sky Gemini as well this month, and that goes out on the 23rd of July. So that's most of the month that Mercury retrograde, and it is in also Gemini. So there is that energy there. So the next cards I'm going to clarify with are the Victorian Fairy Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Magistrate. So the Magistrate is like your Hermit card. So it does suggest that, you know, with the underlying energy of this Five of Cups, with the Magistrate to confirm, to clarify, it does suggest that this sadness, this grief, this loss you've been experiencing, or you will be this month, it needs you need some time alone. The Hermit is, obviously he's a hermit, so he has things that he does that are very hermit-like, which is spending time alone. He's very studious and he seeks inner guidance. So these are qualities that you will really need to help, you know, get over this sadness and this loss and this grief. To clarify the Priestess for you, we actually have Fortitude. So it's an interesting card here. So Fortitude is like your Strength card. So having two major arcana cards to clarify each other is really a potent combination. And because the High Priestess is very much linked with like your intuition, and then the Strength card is very much about your inner strength, you may find that you are really needing to, or both of them to work together for you this month. It's really important that, depending on what it is you're going through, that you trust your instincts and rely on your intuition to navigate through whatever it is you're going through. So then for the Three of Cups, we have the Three of Spring. So the Spring cards are like your Wands card. So 2 3s together is interesting. Obviously 33 is a master number. And in fact, it's the master number that is linked to love as well. So 3 and 3 is 6, and then 6 is Venus's number. And also the Lovers card as well is 6. So having these celebrations with your friends, like this Three of Cups energy here, can actually lead to more abundance in your life. So the Three of Wands can signify that kind of, you know, that spreading your wings and potentially traveling, definitely expanding your world. So this celebratory energy is going to be really positive for you this month. I mean, it not only is your crowning card here, but it's going to lead to more, you know, positive outcomes. Then, or it could anyway, it could instigate that kind of energy. What you do with it is, you know, up to you. Then for the Six of Pentacles, we have the Sun. So another really positive card here to clarify. So definitely, if there is any of that lack energy in your life or in someone else's life and you could help them, you know, doing this is going to be a really positive thing. You know, it's a very celebratory act. You know, the sun, it illuminates whatever it touches. So there's something really, really positive going to come from this situation. For the Three of Swords, interestingly, you actually have the Fool card to clarify it. So not only is this situation which has potentially brought you heartache, and there's that loss and that heartache, however, the Fool suggests that this is the beginning of a new journey in your life, a new chapter. And we had hints of this energy with both the World and the Tower cards being nearby, but this is clarified even more now with the Fool, with the Three of Swords. So congratulations, you are moving on to a new chapter, a new book, potentially a new phase in your life. There's a real journey that's beginning this month. Then for the Tower, the clarifying card we have here is the Two of Autumn. So the Two of Autumn is like the Two of Pentacles. So it does have that energy of balance and decisiveness and the need to really take into account your ins and outs when it comes to spending and saving, and what it is you were doing with your resources. So potentially this Tower could be some kind of loss that you then have to take into account, maybe how you're going to get through that. Then for the Five of Pentacles, we have the Fairy Bride. So the Fairy Bride is like your Lover's card, and she indicates that obviously the Lovers is often around a choice. However, she definitely asks you to pursue what it is that you wish to nourish. So it doesn't have to be another person. That's why I think she is here singly. There's no one else here, even though she's a bride. So there's that suggestion that there's a partner. However, it's focused on the bride. So this situation of the Five of Pentacles, which is that lack situation, will really lead to a choice, a significant choice. And it may be that one of these choices is like what your heart would like, and one might be more practical. You know, there'll be really quite different options, and they will lead to really different outcomes. So you really need to be aware of what choice you make this month, or choices. For the World card here, we actually have the King of Winter. So we've already seen this energy for you with the King of Swords over here. So the King of Winter is like your King of Swords. So he's of the air element, or, you know, air houses, or the signs that rule the air signs in significant placements. He, here with the World, is kind of saying to me that through these, you know, sharp-minded, intellectual, you know, even potentially strategic mastery, you know, energies of the mind, this will really help you in completing this cycle. So you kind of need to be in that energy. It could be an individual that comes in at this time as well. So it could be someone that comes in and really helps you close up this cycle in your life. Then for the Seven of Cups, we have the Four of Spring. So interesting, the Four of Spring is like your Four of Wands. It's very much linked to home and family and stability, and even celebrations to do with family, like potentially reunions or like a housewarming party. It can even signify something to do with the home, like a new home. And this is for the Seven of Cups. So it could suggest that you may be moving, because the Seven of Cups is all about different choices. You may be looking at different places and trying to decide where you want to be, or, you know, what house you want to move into, or there's something here about choices, and there being many choices, and it's linked to this home and family. It could even be maybe you are choosing to move back with family or closer to family, or even they could be more distant family, but there's some link here. And then for the King of Swords, we actually have the clarification of the Queen of Summer for you here. So the Queen of Summer is like your Queen of Cups, and ordinarily I wouldn't consider them to be a great pair. However, I think because the way these energies are placed, like the Queen of Cups is a, you know, traditionally kind of placed feminine energy, being in that water element and being kind of driven by their feelings and their heart and, you know, empathic and that kind of energy. And then the King of Swords is quite that traditional masculine role of being, you know, the leader and the intellect and, you know, no nonsense about things. So having them together could indicate, I mean, the Queen of Summer, the Queen of Cups could be you, because it's the water queen. Even if you're not a feminine, it could just be that you are taking on feminine characteristics, like you may be learning more about being more gentle and, you know, compassionate and those kinds of energies. But then having this King of Swords, which could be an individual as well, could be someone that you are in some kind of relationship with, and it doesn't have to be love or friendship, it could be business. It's an interesting pairing because it seems to be saying that both are important, the heart and the mind, and that there needs to be some kind of balance there. So a really beautiful pairing, really. I think that they actually could work quite well together. So the next cards I'm going to clarify with for you today are the magical messages from the fairies. And on the bottom of the deck, we have let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. The first card, however, is love life. The basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. So that is lovely, and that is linking here with this friendship celebration and this expanding of your life, this expansion. So your love life is changing for the better. Interesting though, because it is a bit of a confirmation there, even with the shadow energy of the deck being that let go card. And then, yeah, this one's talking about romantic life, which is changing. So interesting, because we've had those energies come up here, you know, with the Three of Swords, the heartbreak, and the new chapter opening. The central card is easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything and all the doors will open for you. So that's beautiful. So this tower that's going to happen, don't stress about it. You know, it's obviously meant to happen. Be aware of your finances though, and your, you know, goings ins and outs and things. Try not to overspend, or obviously underspending is a good thing if you can save. Ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. So that's beautiful too, and that's for this Seven of Cups with the that home and family energy. So potentially your family may really help you at this time. The next cards I have to clarify with are the Fairies Oracle, the Shroud. And on the bottom of the deck, we have 62, which is the Glan Connor. He is linked to illusion, delusion, lust, projection, clear sight. It's not good to make decisions when blinded by lust, whether it is lust for a person, a thing, an idea. We need to pause and take our time before making actual commitments. We need to read the fine print, check out the foundations, get a mechanic to test the so beautiful secondhand car. If we are considering buying something, we can refuse to let ourselves be rushed into it and take time to make sure it is really what we think it is. If we are considering making a commitment to other people, we need to take our time and really get to know them much better. This is another lesson in seeing the truth behind a beglamoured surface, though in this case it is we who have cast the glamour. Interesting, okay. So, however, the first card for you is Luminous Doom. Look at this sky. I love the Shroud art. It's so magical. Then we have the Guardian at the gate, and the base of the matter is the Pook. So the crowning card, it's so interesting that the first one was about the love life improving, and then we have this Luminous Doom figure appearing, but he represents self-defeat, self-pity, self-destruction, taking care of ourselves. It is time to face the fact that our attitudes and beliefs about ourselves are our own. We may have learned them from others, but the others are not responsible for them in the here and now. We are. If we choose self-pity and pessimism, we make a choice that makes our lives worse. When this card appears in a reading, it indicates that this is a time when understanding that concept is especially important. A time when there is some sort of a crunch in the situation that offers someone the opportunity to notice and change such self-destructive habits. If it is yourself, you know what you need to do. If it is someone else, you may wish to consider how you might support them in this opportunity for change. Can you make sure to give positive feedback at every appropriate opportunity? Can you refrain from nagging, scolding, or complaining at them when they get it wrong? These things help. So, Luminous Doom. The central card for you, we have the Guardian at the gate, which does symbolize passages to new life, openings, and also gatekeeping. Drawing this card indicates that a passage is being made to a beginning of something new in our lives. It speaks of new opportunities and new openings. Passing through the gate may lead to a physical journey, a mental or an emotional one, a journey of the spirit. It always leads to adventure. The gateway will also lead to significant change in our lives. The passage through such a gate changes us. The passage through such a gate changes us. The gate we face may not seem like much. The decision to enter may not seem to be a matter of great moment. But the presence of the Guardian at the gate tells us that something important is happening. It indicates that going forward through the gate is no small thing, but something to be approached with awareness and prayerfulness. We are embarking on a new phase of our lives, and there will be no going back once this gate has been passed. That is the kind of transition the Guardian at the gate leads us to, always to irrevocable change. We may, of course, ask the Guardian at the gate for guidance and protection on our journey, and we would be wise to do so. Alternatively, the presence of the gatekeeper in a reading may indicate that the querent is being asked to help open a gate for someone else, to help provide an opportunity for them. The job of a gatekeeper or gatekeeper's assistant is merely to open the gate, not push people through it. So maybe you will be entering a new phase, but also you could be a gatekeeper this month too. And then the last card we have for the base of the matter is the Pook. And the Pook is linked to shape changer, good in bad, bad in good, paradox, and resolution. So it is time for the resolution of seeming contradictions and paradoxes in the situation. Someone or some part of the situation is cloaked in confusion, and our muddled thoughts must be stripped away, revealing truth. We just need to think about it. The information we needed is now available to us. And as soon as we have that burst of insight and get it, it's time for us to make changes based on our newly clear understanding. Alternatively, it may be time for us to make a reality check on the good, bad labels we put on things. Make a list of the good, possibly even surprising things about this situation, and another list about the bad ones. If you're not in the habit of seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good, having a preferred black and white world rather than one with colors, you may need some help in learning to do this well. So that's really interesting here as well. I was talking about like clarity. So this month we do have the current Mercury retrograde ongoing in the sign of True Sky, Gemini, and that does end on the 23rd of July, which is fair way through the month. It's like 3/4 of the month. And we also have the Neptune retrograde that starts on the 7th of July, and that goes until the 12th of December. And we also have a Pluto retrograde that we're still in, which started in May, and that goes until October 16. So there is quite a lot of retrograde energies this month, which could really be affecting some of this energy. So the next cards that I have for you are the Fairy Ring Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck for you, we have the Nine of Winter, which is the Unseelie Court. So the Unseelie Court indicates a way of life overturned, unexpected change, anger, frustration, broken promises, hurt, spite, malice, jealousy, and perhaps new but unsuitable alliances. So be really aware of that energy, because we've had quite a few of those concepts kind of come up during the reading anyway. We've had the change definitely come up quite a lot, and then also the hurt, and now it's mentioning these unsuitable alliances, which I was concerned about with the Seven of Cups potentially, and I think this Luminous Doom figure here as well is giving me that energy. So just be aware of those energies. However, your cards are the Queen of Spring, which is the Sea Mither. She's covering the Luminous Doom. Then we have the Wood Woes, the King of Spring. Okay, the Queen and King of Spring, wow. Then we have the Lady, the Green Lady as the base of the matter. So interesting with these energies, because the Sea Mither is like she looks like the Water Queen, you know, obviously she's got the fish and all the water and everything. So I mean, this could be you, Scorpio, or very much linked with your energies anyway. So she symbolizes powerful creative energies surrounding you: fertility, abundance, stability, partnerships, a happy marriage, perhaps the creation of works of art, music, or literature. Sometimes she even can herald the birth of a child. She can indicate a real woman in your life, a graceful woman who is intelligent, artistic, honest, and generous. So that could be you. And also we have the King of Spring, which could be you too. So this is the central card, which is more indicating of like the querent. So, and even if you're not a masculine, it can still be that you're learning those energies at this time. So the Wood Woes represents the call of the wild and the original, leaving behind the known for the unknown. He is a breath of fresh air and indicates rejection of established values and normal life overturned. However, there is a sense of optimism in the air, notwithstanding unexpected events and circumstances. So he's even got a bit of that Uranus energy, and then even like a bit Jupiter, and like he's a bit wild. It's interesting. So he can indicate a real person, a mature man who's lively, energetic, noble, but unorthodox and unconventional. A man who throws everything around him into chaos. Wow, he really resonates with that Tower card. Far out. And then for the base of the matter, we have the Lady of Summer, the Green Lady. So she indicates growth, progress, moving forward, expansion, vitality, energy, virility, and potency. She also could be a person in your life too. An attractive woman who's clever, hardworking, loyal, resourceful, passionate, enthusiastic, and quick to respond emotionally, either with love or anger. So it's interesting that you got 3 significant figures there. And the next cards I'm going to pull from are the last deck actually, and it's the Fairy Tale Lenormand, and on the bottom of the deck we have Clover. So the Clover card is very much linked with good luck. And then we've got the Mountain, the Sun, and the Dog. Okay, so there's something big happening. The Mountain always indicates something big. It can be linked to the government as well, or institutions and things. Something big. So having the Clover card with the Mountain does suggest that you're taking challenges, like big tasks, on lightheartedly, because you have this luck with you, this luck by your side, which is really positive. And then also having it with the Sun is really positive too. So it's about happinesses and luck, and also a lack of responsibility. So it's really positive. And then even the Dog linked with the Clover is about a lighthearted friend, or, you know, an opportunity even for friendship here. And this was linked to this Green Lady, so, and the Peak. While the Sun with the Mountain, there is a suggestion that there could be some kind of blockage to your happiness here. I get the feeling that almost, yes, there could be, but also that this happiness is very large as well. To me, the Mountain is this large thing. So even though there could be some kind of blockage there, it might be that once that blockage is kind of unlocked, there's this, you know, really large happiness. And then also the Dog and the Sun obviously is about happiness in friendship, and even finding joy in a close friendship there. So these are your cards for the month of July, True Sky Scorpio. I hope you have a fantastic month. Just a little bit of musing about the True Sky astrology for the month. So yeah, we do have the retrogrades, the current Mercury, Neptune starting on the 7th, and the Pluto retrograde. Then we also have the Sun moving into True Sky Cancer around the 17th of the month. So after the 17th of the month, the Sun could really be starting to potentially trine your Scorpio placements. So maybe later in the month might be easier for you than the beginning when it's in Gemini. Depending on your chart, you may have some other air or fire or other placements in your chart that might be positively aspected by those Gemini energies. So you just need to look to the other sign readings for a clarification on that. So this doesn't have to be the Sun in True Sky Scorpio. It could be like your rising or your moon, or, you know, a stellium in the sign, or something significant in your chart. And then we also have the new moon in True Sky Gemini on the 14th of July, at least where I am. It will be the 14th of July in the evening, like 7:45 p.m. Then the full moon for July is on the 30th here where I am. So it could be the day before if you're in another country, because Australia, we get the days earlier than a lot of the rest of the world. So we often are a day ahead. So you'd have to look specifically for your time zone region for when it would be. But for here where I am, the full moon is on the 30th of July, about midday. and it will be full moon in True Sky Capricorn with the sun in True Sky Cancer at that stage. And by then, the Mercury retrograde would have ended about a week before then. So that's also a positive note to end the month on as well. So I hope you have a fantastic month, and if you've made it this far in the reading and it resonated in any way, or you know, you enjoyed it, it was entertaining, or you learned something, if you could like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share it, I would be really grateful. And to everyone that has already subscribed, thank you so much. I'm really excited about growing this channel. And thank you for all your likes, comments as well. Wishing you all the best for your month ahead, Scorpio. I'll be back again soon. Take care. Bye.